Hello, my name is Courtney Brown and I will be showing you how to use Google Classroom, how to get it set up and show you some of the basics, as well as uploading assignments and how to grade them, send them back. One of the first things that you will need to do is to create your class. As you can see, I have many classrooms, and that is because I am co-teacher on a lot of the classrooms. I actually only have two of my own. But the way you'll create a classroom is to make sure that you are signed in to your GApps school account. Google Classroom will only work with your school account, and you will create a class by clicking the plus sign. When you create the class, you'll give it a class name, and then if you'd like to add a section you may, but at the elementary level I don't feel the need to do that. Click Create and wait a moment. From here you'll be able to customize the look of your classroom, add students to your classroom, add co-teachers to your classroom, and submit assignments. So you'll start by selecting a theme. There are several to choose from, or you can also upload your own photo. For example, if I was doing my reading or ELA class, I may choose the book. Whereas if I were doing a math class, I may choose something with numbers. Or you can just upload your own photo by dragging and dropping or searching through your computer. Once you have your classroom set up, you will need to invite students. There are a couple of ways that you can invite students to your class. You can have them log into their GApps account, which would be their last name, first name, at gaapps.monet.k12.mo.us, and then have them enter the class code, or you can click on Students and invite students by entering their email address. My students are already listed here because they're already part of my classroom, but you could just type in their email address here and add them. We're going to go back to Stream and start our tour. Whenever you would like to create an assignment, you start by clicking on the plus sign. The plus sign will only appear whenever you're on Stream. This is the class code that you can give to your students. If you email them, the class code will automatically be there. They don't have to type it in. You invite your students on the Students page, not from the Stream page. If you go to the About section, this is where you can invite another teacher. So I could put another teacher's email address here, and that teacher would have the same authorities as I do to grade assignments, to post assignments, to leave comments, see student comments. So what you're going to have on the stream, you have your left panel here, which you can see what work is due soon, all of your assignments here, or if you want to see your deleted assignments, you can see them here, as well as your class code. I'm going to switch to one of my Google Classrooms that does have work assigned. So here you can see all of the assignments that we have, and the most recent ones go on the top. The oldest ones go on the bottom. On my stream I can also see my saved posts or my drafts. So these are assignments that I've created, but I have not yet assigned to students. On the stream is where you'll find the plus sign to add your assignments. If I go to Students or About, I don't have the option to add assignments. You can only do that from Stream. On the student side, this is where you can see posts and comments. You'll have your class roster here, and one of the nice things is that this is an easy way for teachers and students to email one another just by clicking the email sign next to a name, Or if you need to quickly email all students, you can select all and send them an email. You could also invite more students here, and they can also see the class code here. On the About section, this is where you can fill in information such as what the title is. I have my room number here, my Google Drive folder, so when things are submitted to Google Classroom, they also go into my ELA folder in Google Drive. Here's where you can look at your calendar and see when you have assignments posted and when they're due. One of the things that you can do here is also add materials. So if I wanted to upload something like a rubric or a syllabus or something I know the class is going to reference often, I can put it here on the About section, and it won't go down to the bottom as I add more like it would in the Stream section. It would just stay put right here for the About section. Also in this area you can see my name and my email address, as well as the teacher I share this Google Classroom with and his email address, as well as if I wanted to invite others. What to do now is go back to our example classroom and show you how to upload assignments. And you can see that I scrolled through all of my classrooms by clicking the 3 lines on the left. I'm going to click the plus sign, and you have several options here for adding assignments. I could reuse a post, which means I would choose another classroom, and I could go through and choose which assignment I wanted to copy from. So if I wanted to copy this cursive practice, I could just click reuse, and then that is automatically put into my classroom. All the attachments that were from the ELA classroom are now imported into my example classroom. If I am not ready to assign this yet, I click the down arrow and I can save it as a draft, or I can schedule to assign it later. I can also delete it and decide not to use it at all. And here I can assign it to multiple classrooms. So these are all the classrooms I'm a member of. If I chose to choose multiple classrooms, then this assignment would be sent to all of those Google Classrooms. I could also add more to what had been copied by adding another attachment, something from the Google Drive, a YouTube video, or a link. For now, I will save this as a draft. Another thing I can do is create a question. By creating a question, it allows you to quickly get student feedback, which is great for exit tickets or polls or quick checks. So you would type your question here at the top, and then if you wanted to, you could give instructions here. For example, you might put to select only one answer. And then you choose a due date. You can choose any date you want, or if you click the X, you could have it to where there's no due date. I choose no due date for a lot of my assignments because if the due date passes, it will say late in red letters next to the assignment. And then you choose what type of question you want to answer, a short answer question or a multiple choice. So here you have, you need to have at least one option, and then you can continue to add more options. And if you have short answer, then students will just type in their answer, and you will need to select if you want the students to be able to reply to each other or if you want them to be able to edit their answer. I normally turn replying off and editing on. Then you would click Ask, and that would assign it, or you could schedule it or save it as the draft. Another thing you can do is create assignment, which is what I use the most often. This is where I drag and drop my assignments here, or I upload them. I can also grab them from my drive, and then if there's anything that's starred, so things that I have starred in my drive, those will go there. Most often, I only upload single assignments or single pages, and I have my students complete those pages by taking a screenshot and opening them in another app such as UDoodle, where they can annotate there, and then they will turn in their screenshot. So if I did a practice page here, and I select the files from my computer. For example, the letter A for cursive. I can upload that. And then here, I need to decide if the students are only allowed to look at that and take a screenshot and annotate it, if they're allowed to edit this, or if I need to make a copy for each student. If I click that students can edit this file, especially a Drive document or a Word document, then all of the students will be working on a single copy. It can get very messy very quickly. So most often I only choose View File or to make a copy for each student. Then each student has this exact same thing, but their name is attached to it, and their name will be on it whenever they turn it in. Now I will go back to one of my classrooms so that I can show you how you view assignments that kids have turned in and how you can grade them and send them back to students. For example, this morning we started our cursive practice, and I can quickly see that I have 5 kids that are done and 19 that are not done. And by clicking those numbers, I can sort out which 5 are done and see the attachments that they have, or I can scroll down and see which students are not done. Whenever students are done, you are able to give them a grade. So I can click on Anthony's papers, open them up and check each one out. They will open in a new tab. That way I can go back and forth, and then I will be able to give him a grade. You do enter grades as numbers and not letters. So I would give 100%, or if you are grading 4%, you could actually check the paper on your screen and then put the actual percent. Otherwise, I just do 100% or 0% based on completed and attempted or not completed or attempted. Once you have entered grades in for students that have earned grades, you can click the return button here, and that will send the score to the student. You will also be able to have the students leave comments, and you can leave comments on those as well. Thank you for watching, and enjoy using Google Classrooms.